You're spending hours and hours doing your CV, doing your cover letter, looking for jobs, applying online, praying that one of them lands. Data is absolutely brutal. 70% of exec roles are filled through unadvertised channels. That means all of that job board scrolling is completely irrelevant. And in fact, for us, we advertise zero of our jobs. 100% we fill through headhunting referrals and stuff. So today, I'm going to pull back the curtain. As an exec recruiter, I run a global search firm and have done for 20 years. And I'm going to show you why your strategy is failing instead, and give you 5 things to do right now that's going to put you in the best position to take advantage and access that hidden jobs market. So let me just give some context behind this because I think it's important. A lot of people, they don't like to hear there's a hidden job market. They think it's unfair. The world shouldn't work like that. The reality is it does. That is how the world works. Always has done, arguably it always will. So for us and other search firms, 100% of the roles we fill, they're never posted on LinkedIn. They're never on a jobs board. By the time you hear about it, or you see an announcement that someone's landed, it's gone. I mean, you're like, well, why didn't I get the phone call? I spoke with someone the other day. Their colleague announced they got the promotion. They didn't even get a phone call. They weren't even invited into the process. But they had, and obviously, the person who didn't get the job didn't even hear about it. Technically, they were like, "I'm way better." Great, you might be technically way better, but when you start to get into this leadership level, it's not really about that. So there's a lot of data around it. LinkedIn have done a bunch of studies. There's a few others. Some people say 70% of roles aren't advertised or filled through unadvertised channels. Some people say 85. We're 100. So, the data is overwhelming. And for companies hiring, there's overwhelming evidence as to why they would want to be recruiting people from various sources and not advertising. So, for example, referrals from internal employees are more successful by about 30%. 4x advantage, so 7% compared to jobs boards. They're filled quicker. It also de-risks it. If someone knows someone, right, versus someone you don't know from a jobs board, it completely de-risks it for the person. Doesn't mean that person's going to do any better in the role. That's obviously like proofs in the pudding. But inviting someone into your organization, someone knows them, it de-risks it. Massive. And it's cheaper for the hiring company. That's how it works. Or when they call us, they're calling a search firm. Now, most of these people are employed, quite happy, not expecting a phone call, and they're leveraging for our ability to map the market, who we know, all of that stuff. So to get the phone call from us, you either have to be known by us, be found by us, or be referred to us. They're the 3 things, right? That's how it works. You want to get the phone call. And so the question is, how do you get that phone call? Because this is how this market works now. So you want to put yourself in the best position. And you might be sitting there saying, hey, I'm best on paper. I've never had to apply for a job, whatever. But suddenly when you get to this level where it's a pyramid structure, right? Loads of jobs here. And suddenly you want to get that next step up. So you've got like maybe 10 people looking for that next step. So how do you get that next step? And it isn't always the best person, whatever that means, gets the job. It might sound unfair, but this is how it works. So I've got 5 things I'm going to share with you right now that if you implement, it's going to give you a really wonderful chance of getting that phone call and being invited to apply for that job. So number 1, and I want you to commit to this 90-day visibility plan. So stop like mass applying for jobs. Dedicate maybe 80% of that time, say 20% you can still apply, to like some structured networking. So, and by structured networking, your goal isn't to find a job, but it's to become known as an expert in your field. Structured networking, number 1, bucket 1, all these people that you've worked with in the past, clients, customers, colleagues, whoever. Business network, long-term investing in your network. Go contact like however many a day, let's say 5 for argument's sake, right? Just pop an out to 5 people, say, hey, love to catch up. That's it. You're not selling them the CV. This is networking at its purest, going and having a chat and becoming visible. You can do it in person, you can do it on video, whatever it is, but just Commit to that, right? Amazing stuff. Number two, building on this. These are just building, right? Number two is you want to build a pre-roll network way before you need it, right? The worst thing is being in a position where you really need a job and you've not spoken to someone in like 5, 10 years. And you're like, oh my, I want to call them. I want to work for that company. Should I call them? Should I not? Just a bad scenario to be in because kind of people don't like to be sold to and all of that stuff, right? But imagine if you've taken the time over the years to stay in touch with people, to have conversations, to share your thoughts. These people like become more senior, you age with your network. And suddenly, you've been doing things for them, you've been sharing and all this kind of stuff, things happen. So build a pre-roll network. Just make it part of your game for your whole career. You can't go wrong. Number three, building on that, is don't be transactional when you're doing this. So when you're in a conversation, networking, it's networking. Offer your insights. If you're speaking with a peer in your industry, share market intel, share knowledge. Don't ask for a job, but position yourself right as a thought leader. That's the spot that you want to be in, right? And that is networking for me. Don't be transactional. I get it all the time. People sending me CVs. Obviously, I'm a search guy. Why wouldn't they? But it's the way that people do it because other people take a different strategy and it works really well. And they want to have a chat and they share intel, that I share intel, that we build a relationship together. And that's kind of, and you start to build a thing, right? And people are asking me to make a judgment on a bunch of things about who they should invite into the organization. And these are these little things that kind of add up. So don't be transactional, be consultative. Building on that is active visibility. Be visible. You want to be referred. You want to be referred to hiring managers. You want to be referred to search firms. You don't want to be the one applying for a job and looking the next day and 1,000 people have applied. You want to be the person that's been referred to the hiring manager even before it's gone online, because it might not even ever go online because they've met you. It's incredible. The amount of people I speak to when I ask, how did you get that job? They say, oh, I used to work with this person. They called me up or they referred me or my old boss and they wanted me to go with them. So this is being visible inside your organization, being there for people, helping people. They're the people that others want on their team. But as well as that, you can be visible digitally. You can create content on LinkedIn. It's free. If you're not comfortable doing that, comment on people's posts. It's free. Like people's stuff. It's free. Start to build a digital brand and this in-person brand. And being visible as you get further up the career ladder is critical because you want to get referred, you want to get the phone call, you want to be found. And this is how to do it. The fifth piece that rounds everything up is if you do all of these things, you bypass the system entirely. You don't need to start applying for jobs. You're known by people. You're known as the person. Your brand precedes you. You spent time cultivating friendships. You've been there for people. You've done stuff. You've gone out of your way. And that's when the real opportunities come. Like hiring manager will ask their boards, their non-execs, their chair, their search firms, we're looking for this new role or whatever, VCs, PE firms, all of these kind of folks you need to be networking with. You want to be front and center of mind, or you want to be so visible that if you don't know them directly, you're referred to them by someone else or you're found. And it's really important stuff. Hope that all helps. Please like and subscribe. I'm doing loads more videos like this. So I hope you find them all useful. See you soon.